Sunrun CEO Mary Powell for an exclusive Power Play interview. Mary, good to chat with you again.
Good to chat with you, too.
Why do you think the stock market has sort of rediscovered Sunrun and the Sunrun story? Stocks tripled.
A lot has happened. I mean, Sunrun has generated cash for 5 quarters. We're in a really strong position. We are positioned as the nation's largest distributed power plant. So we are routinely leveraging the energy that we're deploying for Americans and for the grid. And so all of that, as well as our performance and policy certainty. So as you know, the budget bill created a lot of uncertainty. So having that resolved this summer, again, really allowed the market, I think, to appreciate all that we've done and all that we have ahead of us.
I thought the new sort of budget plan, not to be political, but I thought some of the tax credit reductions in the Inflation Reduction Act, whatever, were going to kill the solar power industry. That is not. First Solar stock is rocking. Your stock is rocking.
Certainly not for Sunrun, because what Sunrun does is, over 90% of what we do, Brian, is delivering, all this great technology as almost like a subscription service. So that is a very different model than the direct consumer credit that went away as a part of the budget bill. So we very much we are in a very strong position relative to policy certainty over the next 4 to 5 years. We also really made a sharp pivot, as you know, to being a storage-first company. Yeah. So every year we're installing enough solar and storage capacity to meet the equivalent of a nuclear power plant's peak capacity. Wow. We're doing that every single year. And that was also a big part of why our model was included in the budget bill, because what we are doing is so important for America's grid.
And you use the term distributed energy, and for the non-energy experts out there, it's a fancy term for basically saying when people overproduce with the solar panels that are on buildings, you can put that excess energy back into the grid, back into the system. And in fact, in your June earnings call for the second quarter, I believe you referenced that Sunrun's power helps save a blackout.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're doing work all across the nation and in Puerto Rico. And in Puerto Rico in particular, it is really preventing blackouts on a routine basis when we work in a coordinated way with the utility. In California, though, we dispatched enough energy in one day to supply the half of the city of San Francisco's peak energy demand.
Wow.
So, yes, it's wow.
From the solar panels that are on buildings.
Well, the storage.
The storage.
So it's really important.
But you can put that back into the system.
Yes. So really our hard pivot, which is a big part of also our financial story and how we've become so strong, is we made a very sharp pivot a couple of years ago to storage first. Okay. So we're installing storage about 74% of the time when we're installing on customers' homes across America. So that has really put us in a very strong position to play a critical role.
So maybe people, including this beloved news anchor, and maybe misunderstanding part of the story, because we had a company called EOS Energy on a few months ago. Stock's tripled, by the way, since then. Bloom Energy, BE, that stock has soared. Those are also sort of storage stocks. So investors should maybe look more at Sunrun, despite the sun in your name, as a storage company as much of or more than a sun
Yeah,
story.
I mean, I've been passionate about this for years because, as you know, I was the CEO of a utility for a very long time.
You know how they work.
I know how they work, and I know how hard it is, frankly, to get generation online. So again, I support all of the above. I support all the different things America needs. We have not seen electricity demand go up this much since World War II. Okay, so we need as much energy capacity online as we can get. But utilities, as much as they want to, it's built for slow and no. It takes years to build stuff, and then there's a turbine shortage. And so you have so many other things going on. So the fact that we are creating a people-powered, consumer-led revolution to
we
more
want to
capacity.
win the future.